You know of things like your Stargate portals and your eclipses and your alignments on beautiful dates that have come throughout your year. These have always been special events in your history. What you're starting to understand now is that these are ongoing. They're not just an event that happens in a day. It's an upgrade, an upleveling of your bottom line, of your platform of being. And now it is higher because you are open to receive. And this is what your 2024 was about. That the portals are open and staying open. The platforms are open. Now, this may not translate yet into what you believe should be your utopia, but that's unimportant to you as an individual because you are not a victim here. You are understanding that you are no longer a child of God. You are an adult of God.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Becoming Awesome with Peter D. channeling ArchAngel Michael.
I am so grateful you're watching this channel. Your support means the world to me and Tracy. But the bottom line is less than 4 out of 10 of you watching this have subscribed. Please help the channel grow. Help this message get out. It's the most important thing you can do. Subscribe. And besides, it'll help you. It'll be a statement to the universe that you're interested in your spiritual growth and you want to receive more. Thank you. Hey, you beautiful souls. I'm so happy to let you know that Archangel Michael's going to be here with us today. And before this channel is over, he's going to be sending a wholeness blessing. So stick around for that. It's just some beautiful energy you'll want to receive. Today, we're going to be talking about the gains we've made in 2024. Yeah, a lot has happened, and Archangel Michael's going to tell us how that's going to propel us into an even greater expansion in the years to come. Remember, this is a discussion. Please put your comments below and share this video if you find it inspiring. Before I bring in Archangel Michael, I want to tell you a story that inspired me. This was just so out of the blue and so just delicious. I looked out the window a couple of days ago and I saw a bunch of boys, maybe 10-year-old, 12-year-old, running around in costumes. Like those big fuzzy pajama things, like with a lizard head or maybe a rabbit one and other stuff. They were in my front yard and went on the sidewalk. I'm like, what's going on? And the doorbell rings. And I go to answer the doorbell and they're all there and they yell, trick or treat. Now, this is a week after Thanksgiving, okay? And I was just stunned, but they were so happy and they had their hands out in their little bags. And I said, I don't have any candy. And they said, we'll take anything. And I said, wait a second. So I ran and I got 5 $1 bills and I gave each of them a $1 bill and they exploded with joy. I've not seen kids this happy for just a mere $1. They were just going crazy, running around, screaming, yelling, and taking off. It totally made my day. And I'm telling you that story because that's a lot of what's happening in 2024. The norms are not holding together anymore. People are doing different things. In this case, boys are expressing themselves by putting on costumes and trick-or-treating in November. In December. It was already December when they were doing it. And they were just so happy to be there and to get anything. And that's how it is. A lot of us are going to be expressing in ways we did not expect, ways that are not considered normal, and we're going to be so happy doing it. So, let's use that story as a lead-in to bring in Archangel Michael. Here we go. Dearest ones, most beautiful souls, it is always, always, always the most expansive, beautiful, and precious thing to be able to connect with you. You do not understand yet fully how big and bright and exuberant your souls are. Like the story Peter told of these 5 boys who were able to put on their shiny costumes and just be exuberant. This is how you are all the time. when you're not in 3D. And this is what we want to tell you that we love you so much for. Your exuberance is amazing. Your creativity, brightness, shininess, love, and joy is through the roof in your earthly terms. We can see it. And we're here to tell you this is you. So thank you for allowing us to give you this message today to reinforce how amazing you are. And indeed, the story Peter was telling you is a correct explanation of what has taken place in your calendar year of 2024. You see, you have made strides beyond the normal. So much is coming to fruition that you can just play in joy and exuberance in ways you have not been able to before. You know of things like your Stargate portals and your eclipses and your alignments on beautiful dates that have come throughout your year. These have always been special events in your history. What you're starting to understand now is that these are ongoing. They're not just an event that happens in a day. It's an upgrade, an upleveling of your bottom line, of your platform of being. And now it is higher because you are open to receive. You see, in the past, it has taken so much effort and so much energy that on these special days, those who are attuned can do special things. But now the whole energy of your planet is uplifting. You may or may not be aware that Gaia has asked for help in many, many ways. She was on the verge of saying, I'm done with this Earth experiment. It hurts too much. There's too much pain going on. All the suffering in your feminine, in your bodies of your humanity, of how they've treated you, how you've treated each other when given these free will opportunities. She was ready to check it out, in your words. And so she prayed. And so much help has come to her throughout the galaxy, including the angelic realm. We have always been here, but now we were permissioned. This is a key point. You ask and allow, as Gaia has done. You ask and allow in order to receive. Okay? It's not enough just to be aware that you're in trouble. You ask and allow, because it's free will. We cannot do anything for you that you do not encompass and bring into your field. Okay? So she asked and allowed, and we came, and many help has come, and it's uplifted the planet. Now, this uplifting of the planet coincides with the energetics of your universe, your wobble of the galaxy, your harmonic convergence, how many years ago that was. All of these beautiful things are leading to the ascension energies of Earth now. And so this is a new normal, a new energetic is out there. And with that new energetic, it's not just one special day that propels you forward to bring forth energy and magic to take place. Now it is those special days that then raise the entire platform for everyone. So all boats are arriving in the sea of benevolence. And this is what your 2024 was about. That the portals are open and staying open. The platforms are open. Now, this may not translate yet into what you believe should be your utopia. This is still, there's many people, remember, it's a free will planet. There's many people who are still invested in their politics of being right, in their mental understanding of religion. It's not very heart-based, but it is very mental, and therefore it is very strict, and they only allow certain scriptures in, and therefore they only allow certain beings in. And this is what's still holding you back as a planet. But that's unimportant to you as an individual, because you are not a victim here. You are understanding that you are no longer a child of God. You are an adult of God. And as such, you can have your creation just like these boys could in the middle of the wrong month, wearing their costumes, trick-or-treating, and getting gifts and presents and being happy. This is what you can have all the time. Because that is the biggest gains that has happened in your year of 2024. Your bottom line, your basis, your foundation is stronger, higher, bigger. And so what are you going to do with it? And this is key to what you're going to do with it. You see, many of you are beautifully attending to messages like this one, which is allowing you the ability to understand maybe things are different. And this is important because if you look at it like a funnel, those of you at the top are attending to these messages. But now the next step is, can you actualize these messages? Can you make it more so it's not just, oh, angels up here, people down here, oh, let me listen, bow down, worship. No. Can you let it come into you and so that you fill up even bigger? And as you fill up bigger, you radiate bigger. And this is another important change that is taking place on your planet. You see, Peter was working with somebody last week, and she was saying, I'm not sure what to do. How do I do this? And Peter says to her, there's 8 billion people on the planet, okay? His teacher taught him that if a person becomes fully awakened, they will affect 70,000 other people and move them into awakening. Actually, it's quite more than that, and it's more than just awakening, but you get the idea of the numbers here. So I said, just doing simple math, 8 billion people, we need 800 million of us out there carrying these energies. Now, you don't need that many, but do you understand the magnitude and the multiplier effect? So if you can move from just listening to actualizing and then further into doing and sharing, then more will take place, even more quickly on the planet. And that is what is happening in 2024. Many of you have taken that step of actualization, and you're willing to put on your Halloween costumes in the wrong month and go trick-or-treating, and just when people put up their Christmas decorations. Because why not? It feels good. There's joy and exuberance. And you're going to start to see that. Now, we have given you this message, and Peter's given you this message, and many spiritual beings have given you this message. You must find your tribe. This is important because as you gather in groups, remember the 2 or more gathered in my name, I am there in your Bible talking about the presence of God. This is how it is in all things. So if you can start to find your tribe, you're going to magnify what is going on. Now, in the past, tribes are always the leader and all the followers, the chief and all the little Indians following them. No. That is not how we are proceeding now. 2024 helped solidify that. You are all becoming your leaders in your own field. And if you can start to do that in ways that bring forward your own unique abilities, and that, of course, means trusting them. And this is what 2024 gave you the platform for, was starting to see these abilities and trust them. And many of you are. So the numbers are shifting. They're still very small at first because you're at the tail end of what is called a bell curve. And you're right down there, which is very slow growth. But the impact you're having is so big, it's going to take off. Now, what does this mean? This means that you can start to be a leader. And it doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to teach you, I'm the guru, follow me. If that suits you, do that. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with opening up a YouTube channel. Look at this one here who did this. Nothing wrong with any of that. It helps so many of you. But that is not the only path. You see, the most important path is you're going to affect those around you without even knowing it. They're just going to come into your presence and start to think, yes, something feels right here. And then you interact with them just like you would a friend, because you are their friend. And that moves their unconscious, that moves their abilities, and it flows that energy that you have collected and manifested from these portals that are opening and have become a nice, a node, a nucleus, a transistor, an amplifier for. So it's going to take that energy that you're holding and send it out to everyone just by interacting with them. Then, if you choose, you can start to share your teachings. Now, this is not so much to parrot what we are saying. This is you connecting to your source, saying, oh, here is how I understand this truth. And it's not some external thing where you get into a discussion and you pull your great book out and you quote passages back each other and then you argue what the passages mean, because after all, they're so conflicting, right? And it's not like that at all. It's you go right to your truth, and the other person you're with will know, oh, this is genuine, this is authentic. And you can sense that. You would not be attending to this channel if you did not think this person who was speaking this message had that energetic, that authenticity. And that is what you are going to start to demonstrate. You are going to be this node, this nexus that is going to bring people there. And with that, then you can start to not just share your energetics, but you can start to share your understandings and your teachings. And then with that, you can band together and have a group consciousness. That is where you're moving, and that is what's going to truly lift up the planet when the groups of you are together. So it's not going to be just one person affecting 70,000 people. It's going to be this group of 5 or 10 or 20 that has enough juju, as it's called, with them that they can affect 100,000 people, even though they're not fully awakened yet. Yes, you see how that amplifies? And then, of course, it's no longer a fight. It's no longer a struggle, all the crusading you're doing, because the energetics that you're hoping to see leave must leave. They cannot vibrate at the level you're vibrating at. So Earth is just going to naturally get nicer. And you're finding that. You can be that little kid who's getting the trick or treat because they trust themselves enough to go put a costume on in the wrong month and go knock on doors. You can knock on spiritual doors anytime. We so welcome you. We so love you. So this is how it will be for the planet moving forward. And we now want to move into sending you a transmission. And this is what is called a wholeness blessing. Now let us explain that the channel Peter was introduced to this over a decade ago when some people out of the blue who he did not know called him up and said, we're having a conference. We want to come have you speak on oneness. Now, this is when he was just starting to learn oneness. And he was not secure in any of his abilities or anything. You know, he'd been a public speaker and did work audiences with media literacy. But this was a whole new thing. It was not an area where he was certified in. So he went and talked to one of the monks who was in North America at the time and said, why don't you go do this conference? You're going to be there. And he goes, oh, no, you. And so Peter ended up doing this. Now, a couple of things happened. One was he made some beautiful friends, right? And he started to hang out with them because he knew that they had more of what he was interested in. Remember that tribe thing? Now, it's not just you follow people and you be a leech. No, you find people who have what you want and then become their friend, okay? And through that friendship, you automatically get their knowledge and their teachings, just in the day-to-day. Don't put them in the guru role, okay? So he developed some beautiful friends. The other thing is he started to see the skills and abilities that were out there. You see, these people who found him did so by praying in front of an altar and got a name. It's like, what is this? And it was so astounding to him that it would end up in him getting an invite to speak at this conference. And now this is kind of commonplace. That's how things work. He just sits down, talks to spirit, he knows things, and life gets better. And he can share these kinds of things with you now. Okay? So it was a beautiful, beautiful insight there. And at this conference, they were doing what was called a formation. They needed a certain number of people and to stand in a particular pattern that I had laid out for the conference person who was the chief host of it. And he needed people to stand in this big ballroom in this perfect formation because the physicality of it, this is important, the physicality of what's going on Earth would create a node, a nexus that then we could put energy in that would then transform the whole planet as well as all the people there. Okay? So more understanding of angel blessings and things that are happening that are beyond your, like, what? Yes, this is happening on so many levels. At this conference, Peter also had the gift of being initiated to give the wholeness blessing sourced from me. And this is a blessing that gives you wisdom, health, and prosperity. Pretty much the whole shebang. And there's nothing you need to do except receive it. Now, he was taught to give it, and it was a beautiful thing. Every time he gave it, he would just get giddy and laugh and get all silly, so he loved giving it. But he was taught to give it by putting a hand on the person's heart in the front and then in the back, and then moving the energy in a circle through him while I was allowed into the mix to put the blessing in place. It was quite a beautiful thing. He was instructed, you only gave it in person, not over distance. And certainly not in recordings like this. So then about 2 years ago, Peter was working with a client, and I thought he was connected to me because he connected with me at that conference. And I told him, give this person a wholeness blessing. And Peter said in his head, you're not supposed to do this over distance. And then I said to him, are you going to listen to who taught you, or are you going to listen to me? Now, this is a crucial teaching point for you to understand. When you make your connection to Source through angelics or whomever, when you connect to Source, you're going to start to trust that Source is indeed correct. And you're going to trust your own intuition. You're going to put on a Halloween costume in the wrong month and go get presents and give gifts. It's not just that these kids got presents. Peter had so much joy, he still does, from this watching them bounce around and scream and yell because they got $1. This is how it's going to be for you. You're going to start trusting that, and you're going to start doing more and more that's out there. So this is why we're telling you this story. Please know, there's nothing you have to do to receive this. However, if you are driving a car right now, don't go deep into this process. Come back and go deep when you can relax. We do not want to cause you distraction in your traffics. Okay? So there's nothing you need to do except to sit back and relax. Just allow. Yes. That is it. Now, if you can, some of you are not open all the time to receive. So to help you receive, go ahead and shrug your shoulders, make them real tight, and then relax. Beautiful. Do it one more time. Make a big exhale. Now tap on your heart just a couple of times. And put your hands down and receive now. Divine, please let these blessings flow. That is so beautiful. You're open. Keep receiving. Keep allowing. Close your eyes. Let it come into you now. Yes. Feel your heart expand. Yes. And so it is. Please pause this tape and sit until you feel totally full. Then resume. This is Peter D again. Wow. I just love me some Archangel Michael. Whenever he sends that blessing through, I just get so giddy with the joy. Hopefully you let it sit for a long time. Go back and play this more than once if you want to. Just do that little section, get the blessing, let it come into you, and fill up. Because why not? It's who you are. You got some angel help. Yeah, you ask for it, allow it, receive it. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to close with a story. Because this was super funny. Archangel Michael was talking about the conference where this happened. Remember I told you that, or he told you that, well, anyway, what happened is I called up the monk that was going to be there, and he was actually going to give a presentation there as well. So it was kind of interesting. And at this conference, all the people really liked the fact that the electronics would go screwy. That their watches would break and everything, and their cell phones would lose their charges and stuff. And they always thought this was a sign of the angelics doing their thing, so they liked it. And during the place when we were getting initiated, all the fire alarms went off. Just big fire alarms. And so, of course, we just kept doing what we were doing. And eventually they got it under control and turned off the fire alarms in the building. It was no alarms. It was just the energetics set them off. And all the people there were super happy. Now, it turns out that the monk I was telling you about, he was in his hotel room watching a movie. And he was really enjoying the movie. And he found that the fire alarms were really, really annoying. It's because he couldn't watch the movie. And he called up the desk and they said they're working on it. And then he said, look, I don't want to see this. Now, I was taught at Wholeness University that when two people pray for opposing things, that, you know, whoever has the stronger connection to God wins. Whoever has the strongest connection to their environment is going to get the result they want. And so I thought this was beautiful. You had a whole convention full of people who were going to do their big formation the next night, and they wanted a big electronic show, and they were happy that fire alarms was only the beginning, okay? Then you had a monk who's also super high level and connected in a very big way. And he did not want any of this because it was annoying. And so I heard these stories during the day, and I was so excited for the night to come around and say, okay, whose environment's going to win? How's this going to resolve? Well, of course, what happens when you have two high-level groups and they're both sincere, both get what they want. And so what happened was during our formation, all the car alarms in the parking lot, in the parking garage, in the parking lot next to the hotel went off. So it was this big cacophony, but it was outside of our hearing because we were in the ballroom doing our formation. So everybody got what they wanted. The monk got his peace and quiet during the formation, and everybody else got the big show of a whole parking lot full of car alarms going off. How funny is that? It's as cool as those kids running around in their costumes. Anyway, that's what we have for you. Thank you for a beautiful 2024. Looking forward to being more and more with you in 2025. Thank you for subscribing. It really helps Tracy and I. Thank you for liking this video and share it. Get some uplift to other people. Get out there with your tribe, form your group, start to connect more, claim your power, and start to do things with it. Don't just be the follower anymore. We need those big numbers, hundreds of millions of us, and then poof, the planet's going to pop all the way. Thank you. Many blessings. Bye.